the times have changed, and you have seen today the LCA Tejas, for which the contract was signed in the morning. This project is totally indigenous project, and this has brought in the needed shift in the methodology of the technology absorption. And today we have transfer of technologies not from only foreign OEMs, but also from Indian agencies, aeronautical development agencies, many DRDO labs, CSIR labs, and even private labs who are working in aerospace and defense sector. Technology transfer downstream of the supply chain also has happened because of the new projects which the country has taken. There are new partners, you would have heard names of the Dynamatic Technologies, Alpha Design, Larsen & Toubro, Tata Advanced Metal Systems. So these are our partners and contributors, big contributors in our ongoing program. And with their strength and confidence today, we are in a position to ramp up our production and increase the indigenous content in the product which we manufacture. Today, more than 70% of the manufacturing workload of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited comes from these partners in private industries. Let us look at why and how of technology transfer. Technology transfer takes significance if the recipient chips in with new market, new customers, new geographies. Any aircraft manufacturer will be more willing and flexible towards TOT if he gets access to this. From the recipient's point of view, if we see, what is most important is the point of the product life cycle where TOT can be obtained. Agreements finalized at the initial levels of initial periods of the product life cycle can be more flexible, more deep, as well as they can have more risk sharing propositions. And those projects wherever HAL has entered into the transfer of technology in the beginning of the product life cycle, we have almost achieved a very high indigenous content. Transfer can also happen through several routes. We HAL have experienced technology transfer from foreign OEM, from Indian partners, experimented with co-development and co-production, subcontracting or outsourcing down the line in supply chain, and also through joint ventures. We can confidently say that technology transfer goes beyond the transfer of knowledge about the machines, equipment and tools from one organization to another. An effectively negotiated and executed TOT involves a learning process which is fast, supervised and efficient. Today, the ecosystem in the country is not only equipped to absorb the TOTs in a much faster way, but also innovate to higher dimensions in civil aerospace along with military. The ecosystem in the country is aided by several research and design centers. 10 R&D centers in HAL alone, more than 100 in DRDO, CSIR, ISRO, and many private companies also. India is a leading customer for civil aircraft, and the projections for the future growth is also very encouraging. If we integrate all these facets and dimensions, it can be safely concluded that now is the opportune time for aircraft OEMs, foreign as well as Indians, to engage with the Indian industry in a more systematic manner for developing India as an aviation hub. TOT from foreign OEMs is marred by issues like relevance and depth of the technology of transfer. Foreign OEMs are generally reluctant to share the critical technologies. They want to hold back technologies which are crucial to the product, primarily due to IPR protection concerns. So increasing their confidence through demonstrated safeguards of IP protection would pave the way for sharing the sensitive and high-end technologies with us. TOT by Indian OEMs in military has a very well-defined process which specifies the responsibilities and the roles of various agencies in the whole chain. That template has been very, very effective in military segment. In civil also the same template can be followed with the minor changes made to suit the specific requirement of the civil ecosystem. Co-development and co-production is another, in our opinion, a very, very important approach that allows access to advanced technological products, smooth TOT with less cost and time. It provides for transfer of skill sets through contribution in the joint programs, joint intellectual property rights, shared market space and resultant revenues. Subcontracting and contract manufacturing, that is the most predominantly used methodology of technology transfer today in our country, which frankly speaking does not bring in the new markets and the new customers or the new geographies. So this has got a very limited role in building the entire design capability of the country, but nonetheless very important to start with. Technology can also be absorbed through joint ventures. However, success of joint ventures is incumbent upon creating offerings which could be sold across the globe. Dependent on orders from the customer base of only one partner normally results in the JVs not yielding the intended outcomes. Another important role which is very, very necessary in aviation is the standardization and certification. It's a related aspect of the technology transfer. Technology assimilation across the globe paves way for bringing about the regulatory and quality harmonization. BASA agreements and the efforts by ICAO are welcome steps in this regard, which have been undertaken. Similar standardization through the acquisition of international certification, process certification by the manufacturing organizations as well as the design organizations pays for much faster absorption of technology. But today, in today's industry environment, in my opinion, it is more important to think in terms of cooperating and collaborating with each other rather than competing in all fronts. I would like to argue that in today's India, following a leader sequence, that is starting with design skills and subsequently migrating to manufacturing, is a more viable strategy for technology catch-up than following a follower sequence, wherein we start with manufacturing and gradually upgrade ourselves to a design capability organization. Though we have followed the earlier process and now we are equipped that we should change the gear and take the role of designer. Let us talk about the specific. As Mr. Khosla from IATA very clearly said, that in today's situation, it is the regional sector which is going to pick up now. And probably the long-haul sectors might have to wait for some more time. And our country is the country where regional sector, Ministry of Civil Aviation has been playing a major, very vital role in development of this sector. In country today, we have the design capability for 2-seater aircraft, 5-seater aircraft, 14-seater aircraft, and a future 19-seater variant by one single agency, National Aeronautical Laboratory. We have with HAL a 19-seater aircraft, fixed-wing Dornier 228. We have with HAL advanced light helicopter you saw today in the demonstration, which is also a 14-seater civil variant is under certification. We are developing light utility helicopter, which is again 7 to 8-seater, specially designed for the civil segment. So these are the platforms for which the design capability is available today within the country. So what a technology transfer agency or the recipient has to do today. They have to get in touch with these organizations and see how they can increase the local content, absorb the technology, and try to bring in new market, new customers, new geographies, so that we have a win-win approach, not only from the designer's point of view, but from the manufacturer's point of view. And my request, sir, to the ministry will be, and I said, I requested in today's morning meeting with them also, we need to look at this less than 20 seat segment as a different segment. Today's role of the 20 seats, 10 seats are same as large, bigger aircraft. We'll have to look at this as a different segment, then only this segment can be promoted in a much better way. So this is my request, which probably may be considered. Coming to, I would like to also share with you recently, Aeronautical Society of India made a committee on examining the feasibility of manufacturing indigenous civil aircraft. So they strongly recommended that less than 20 seat segment, we don't require anything. We have the enough capability and we can develop a whole ecosystem within the country itself.